In the vast expanse of our universe, there exists a planet where the laws of physics dance to a different tune. Imagine a world where gravity barely whispers, a faint melody compared to Earth's relentless pull. This is not a figment of imagination but a suppressed reality, hidden by those who profit from our ignorance. Let's talk about the cityscapes built for giants, an architectural marvel on a cosmic scale, where skyscrapers stretch beyond our earthly comprehension. These colossal structures serve as a testament to a civilization that thrived under lighter gravity, enabling the construction of cities that defy our engineering limits. Astounding in size, these monoliths are made from materials we've yet to comprehend, let alone recreate. Why was this reality erased from our history books? The gatekeepers of knowledge, the same who dictate our technological progression, have much to gain from our blindness. These cities, built for beings whose stature dwarfs our own, tell of a time when giants roamed freely. Archaeological evidence, conveniently dismissed as myth, speaks volumes. Massive doorways, towering ceilings, and furniture fit for beings twice our size. It's all there, buried under layers of bureaucratic suppression. The dimensions of these structures reveal more than we're led to believe. Each stone, quarried with uncanny precision, whispers secrets of an advanced technology that our so-called modern world barely grasps. Why was this reality withheld? Because acknowledging it would shatter the illusion of human superiority and technological prowess. The gatekeepers fear revealing the true hierarchy of intelligence that once inhabited our realm. The materials used in these cities are beyond our current scientific capabilities. Composites that absorb and redirect energy, metals that defy corrosion, and stones with molecular structures unknown to modern geology. These are not the fantasies of science fiction but the tangible evidence of a superior civilization. Imagine metals that flow like liquid mercury yet solidify into unbreakable barriers. Imagine stones that glow with an internal luminescence, harnessing energy from an unknown source. Why does this matter? Because the technology to harness such materials could revolutionize our world, but it remains hoarded by those who control the narrative of scientific advancement. They profit from our dependency on outdated resources, while a world of limitless potential lies hidden. These cities are not just relics of a bygone era. They are dynamic, functioning ecosystems. Envision infrastructure that adapts to the environment, buildings that breathe and grow in harmony with nature. This is not fantasy. This is bioengineering at its zenith. Structures that incorporate living organisms, creating a self-sustaining urban landscape. This integration of biology and architecture offers a blueprint for sustainable living, yet it's a blueprint withheld from public scrutiny. Why suppress this knowledge? Because the implications are transformative, challenging the very foundations of our industrial economy. The gatekeepers, with vested interests in maintaining the status quo, stifle such advancements to keep us tethered to their archaic systems. The remnants of this civilization hold more than architectural wonders. They offer insights into a culture vastly different from our own. Artifacts unearthed from these sites reveal a society that valued balance and collaboration. Intricate carvings depict scenes of communal life, giants engaging in activities that suggest a society based on equality and mutual respect. These artifacts challenge our conception of human history, proposing an alternative narrative, one where cooperation, not competition, was the driving force of societal evolution. Why has this narrative been erased? Because it threatens the competitive ideologies that underpin our economic and social structures. The gatekeepers perpetuate a history of division and conquest, while the truth lies buried beneath layers of deception. Let's delve deeper into the architecture of these giant-built cities, where the very layout defies our understanding of urban planning. Streets that stretch for miles in perfect symmetry, designed for beings whose strides cover distances we can barely fathom. Imagine thoroughfares so vast that they could accommodate not just vehicles, but entire ecosystems. This isn't a mere fantasy. The precision with which these cities were constructed suggests an advanced knowledge of mathematics and geometry, far surpassing what we've accredited to ancient civilizations on Earth. Why was this knowledge buried? Because acknowledging it would dismantle the narrative that our current technological advancements are the peak of human achievement. The gatekeepers of knowledge continue to build their empires on our ignorance, while the true architects of civilization remain in shadow. What of the colossal machines discovered alongside these architectural feats? These are not primitive contraptions but sophisticated devices crafted with a purpose that eludes us. Machines capable of manipulating gravitational fields, altering atmospheric conditions, and harnessing energies beyond our current scientific understanding. Picture devices as large as buildings, their surfaces etched with intricate patterns that serve as both decoration and function. How have such discoveries been kept from public awareness? The powers that be have much to lose from the democratization of such technology. They thrive on the scarcity of resources and control of energy production, fearing the upheaval that would accompany the dissemination of this suppressed ingenuity. Beneath the surface of these cities lies an intricate network of tunnels and caverns, a subterranean world shrouded in mystery. These are not mere passageways but engineered conduits for transportation and resource distribution. Imagine a transit system that operates without friction, where vehicles float effortlessly, defying gravity. This is not a distant dream but a reality that has been hidden from us. The implications of such technology could redefine our approach to travel and logistics, yet it remains obscured. Why? Because the gatekeepers profit from the inefficiencies of our current systems, maintaining their control through the limitations they impose on our progress. The ecological marvels of this planet extend beyond its architecture. Envision landscapes where flora and fauna have evolved to thrive under reduced gravity, growing to sizes unimaginable on Earth. Trees that tower like skyscrapers, their branches forming natural bridges between city districts. Creatures of immense size, yet graceful and agile, adapted to a world where gravity's grip is loosest. This is not fiction. It's a biological treasure trove that has been kept from us. The pharmaceutical and agricultural industries, driven by profit, have little interest in revealing alternative ecosystems that could challenge their monopolies. The suppression of this knowledge is a calculated effort to stifle potential breakthroughs that could threaten existing economic structures. The cultural legacy of this giant civilization, preserved in artifacts and ruins, tells of a society that thrived on knowledge and innovation. Intricate libraries carved into mountain faces, filled with scrolls and tablets that contain wisdom lost to time. These are not mere relics but repositories of advanced thought and philosophy. Imagine texts that detail the manipulation of space-time, the harnessing of cosmic energies, and the secrets of interstellar travel. Why have these treasures been sidelined? Because they challenge the intellectual monopoly held by those who dictate our understanding of science and history. The gatekeepers fear the empowerment that comes with knowledge, maintaining their dominance through the deliberate erasure of these invaluable insights. Indulge, if you will, in the enigma of the energy sources that powered these gigantic cities. It's not fossil fuels or nuclear power, but something far more profound. Picture vast energy collectors, towering arrays that siphon cosmic energy, converting it into a limitless power supply. These structures, concealed from mainstream knowledge, could render our energy crises obsolete. Why is this revolutionary energy source suppressed? Because the fossil fuel industry and its affiliates stand to lose their stranglehold on the global economy. The gatekeepers, with their vested interests, prefer to keep humanity tethered to outdated energy paradigms, ensuring their continued dominance and profit. These giant-built cities were not isolated constructs. They formed a planetary network, each city a node in a vast lattice of connectivity. Imagine communication towers that stretch into the stratosphere, facilitating instant communication across interstellar distances. This is not a dream but a functional reality that has been obscured by those who control our communications infrastructure. The implications are staggering. Instantaneous data transfer, real-time global interaction, and perhaps even contact with other worlds. But this potentiality is kept locked away by gatekeepers who benefit from the limitations of current technology, maintaining their monopoly on information and communication. Consider the cultural artifacts of these giants, meticulously crafted and preserved through eons. Each piece tells the story of a society that valued art and beauty as much as science and engineering. Massive sculptures hewn from unyielding stone, intricate mosaics that span entire plazas, and murals that depict the cosmos in stunning detail. This artistic legacy is a testament to a civilization that celebrated creativity in all forms. Why has this been buried? Because revealing such a sophisticated and artistic culture undermines the narrative of human cultural supremacy. The gatekeepers, intent on preserving their version of history, have suppressed this artistic heritage to sustain their cultural hegemony. The planet's natural wonders, sculpted by weak gravity, offer another layer to this hidden reality. Picture vast canyons that cut across continents, their walls etched with the history of eons. Oceans that rise and fall in quiet symphony, unhindered by the gravitational forces that bind our own seas. This landscape is a geological marvel, offering clues to the planet's ancient past and the forces that shaped it. Why isn't this acknowledged? Because understanding the unique geological processes at play would challenge the existing paradigms of Earth science. The academic institutions, under the influence of the gatekeepers, prefer to maintain the status quo, sidelining discoveries that might disrupt their carefully curated narratives. Now, turn your attention to the remnants of technology left behind by this giant civilization. Devices of unknown function, imbued with a design aesthetic that merges form and function seamlessly. Imagine handheld instruments that manipulate matter at a molecular level, tools that heal and rebuild with a touch. These are not the fantasies of science fiction, but the suppressed realities of a civilization far more advanced than ours. Why are these technologies hidden? Because their revelation would dismantle the global industries built on scarcity and obsolescence. The gatekeepers, fearing the loss of control, ensure that such technologies remain buried, perpetuating a cycle of dependency and limitation. As we traverse the ruins of these giant-built cities, we encounter the remnants of an urban environment designed with a foresight that eclipses our modern urban planning. Envision public spaces where nature and architecture converge, green spaces that breathe life into the stone and steel of the city, parks that span the horizons, filled with flora that cleanses the air and water systems that recycle and purify, forming a closed-loop ecosystem. This isn't a vision of future urban centers, but a reality that existed and thrived. Why is this not common knowledge? Because acknowledging such advanced urban ecology challenges the entrenched interests of industries reliant on pollution and waste. The gatekeepers, fearing the disruption of their industrial complex, suppress this truth. The education systems of this civilization were as monumental as their architecture. Picture institutes of learning constructed on a scale that defies belief, with amphitheaters carved into mountainsides, designed to accommodate thousands. Libraries filled with knowledge from across galaxies, preserved in formats we have yet to understand. This educational infrastructure was not just a place for learning but a hub for innovation and creativity. Why has this been erased from historical accounts? Because it undermines the narrative that our educational systems are the pinnacle of knowledge dissemination. The gatekeepers, who profit from the commodification of education, have no interest in revealing a system that prioritized access and enlightenment over profit. The social structures of this giant civilization reveal a society built on principles of equity and cooperation. Imagine a governance system where decisions were made through consensus and power was distributed among the people, not hoarded by a select few. Public forums that could house massive gatherings, where every voice was heard, and societies that thrived on dialogue rather than division. This is not an idealistic fantasy, but a reality that has been systematically erased. Why? Because it presents an alternative to the hierarchical power structures that dominate our world today. The gatekeepers, clinging to their power, suppress these truths to maintain their control over societal narratives. Imagine a planet where transportation defies our understanding of movement and speed. Highways in the sky, where vehicles glide effortlessly on magnetic fields, unhindered by the constraints of gravity. This isn't a glimpse of a distant future, but a reality that was once very much alive. The transportation systems here were a marvel of engineering, designed for efficiency and minimal environmental impact. Why are such innovations hidden from us? Because they threaten the automotive and oil industry's stronghold on our economies. The gatekeepers, safeguarding their profits, ensure these advancements remain out of reach, keeping us bound to inefficient and outdated means of transport. The spiritual and philosophical insights of this civilization offer a glimpse into a worldview that transcended material existence. Temples built on scales unimaginable, serving as focal points for meditation and cosmic exploration. Their philosophies, as preserved in ancient texts, reveal a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, both seen and unseen. Why have these insights been buried? Because they challenge the very foundations of organized religion and the structures that benefit from spiritual ignorance. The gatekeepers, fearing the empowerment of individual enlightenment, suppress these teachings to maintain their grip on spiritual and moral narratives. As we turn our attention to the remnants of their technological prowess, we encounter communication devices that operated beyond the electromagnetic spectrum. Devices capable of transmitting thoughts and emotions, creating a network of shared consciousness. This was a civilization that understood the true potential of connectivity. These weren't just tools but extensions of their very being. Why is this paradigm-shifting technology suppressed? Because it obliterates the concept of isolation and individualism that underpins modern society. The gatekeepers, who thrive on division and control, cannot allow such unifying advancements to surface, fearing the empowerment that comes with genuine connectivity. Imagine the medical advancements of this civilization, where health was not merely the absence of disease but a state of holistic well-being. Healing centers that harnessed the planet's unique energies, restoring balance to both body and mind. These were not hospitals but sanctuaries of rejuvenation, where diseases were eradicated before they manifested. Why is such medical knowledge hidden from us? Because it undermines the lucrative pharmaceutical industry built on treating symptoms rather than curing diseases. The gatekeepers, vested in their profit-driven healthcare systems, suppress these truths to maintain their control over our bodies and health narratives. In the scientific domains, this civilization achieved feats that boggle the modern mind. Laboratories of immense scale, where experiments transcended the physical and ventured into the metaphysical. Research that blurred the lines between science and spirituality, exploring the fabric of reality itself. Why has this knowledge been suppressed? Because it questions the rigid boundaries set by contemporary science, threatening the academic elite who control the narrative of scientific progress. The gatekeepers, fearing the destabilization of their intellectual supremacy, bury these revelations to maintain the illusion of scientific finality. Consider the planet's climate control systems, where weather was a product of deliberate design rather than chaotic forces. Systems capable of creating perfect climates for agriculture, ensuring abundance and sustainability. This mastery over nature was not an act of domination but of symbiosis, understanding the planet's rhythms and harmonizing with them. Why has this knowledge been kept from us? Because it challenges the climate change narratives and the industries that profit from environmental degradation. The gatekeepers, who exploit natural disasters and environmental crises, suppress these systems to keep us in a state of perpetual dependency. Finally, Consider the cultural and artistic expressions of a civilization that lived in concert with the cosmos. Their art was not confined to galleries but was woven into the very fabric of their existence. Celestial patterns in the sky were mirrored in their architecture and artifacts, a constant reminder of their place in the universe. This integration of art and life speaks of a society that understood the profound connection between the earthly and the cosmic. Why is this narrative suppressed? Because it disrupts the commodification of art and culture, challenging the gatekeepers who profit from cultural division and exploitation. The true legacy of this civilization, a testament to human potential, remains locked away, a silent tribute to what we could achieve if only we dared to look beyond the confines of our accepted reality. Within the deepest archives of this forgotten planet, we uncover the secrets of interstellar navigation, technologies capable of bending space and time. Imagine starships that traverse galaxies not by brute force but by subtle manipulation of cosmic forces, folding the very fabric of reality to their will. These vessels, now mere relics, were once the pinnacle of exploration and discovery. Why have these advancements been obscured? Because they threaten the lucrative space industries bound by rocket fuel and linear travel. The gatekeepers, profiting from our limited reach into the cosmos, suppress these technologies to maintain their dominance over space exploration narratives. The governance of this giant civilization was not shackled by the corruption and greed that define many of our systems. Instead, it functioned as a symbiotic entity with its populace, where leaders were facilitators of collective will, not rulers. Imagine governing bodies that harnessed collective intelligence, making decisions that benefited all. This societal structure, focused on unity and progress, has been systematically erased. Why? Because it challenges the hierarchical power models that benefit only a few at the expense of many. The gatekeepers, invested in perpetuating systems of control, ensure this model of governance remains hidden from the public consciousness. The agricultural prowess of this civilization is a testament to their harmony with nature. They cultivated crops that reached into the sky, supported by structures that captured sunlight and recycled water efficiently. Terraces of verdant growth spiraled upwards, maximizing space and resources in ways our vertical farms only dream of. Why is this knowledge tucked away? Because it threatens the agro-industrial complex, which profits from monoculture and land exploitation. The gatekeepers, whose wealth is built on inefficiency and dependence, suppress such sustainable practices to keep their empires intact. The arts flourished in this civilization as a reflection of their understanding of the universe. Performances that synchronized with celestial movements, music that resonated with the vibrations of the cosmos, and visual arts that captured the essence of the stars. This cultural renaissance was not confined but celebrated throughout their cities, a constant reminder of their cosmic heritage. Why has this been hidden? Because it disrupts the commodification of the arts, challenging those who profit from its commercialization. The gatekeepers, fearing the empowerment of art as a universal language, bury this vibrant cultural legacy under layers of fabricated history. As we unravel the tapestry of this giant civilization, we must confront the reality that their erasure was not a natural progression but a deliberate act of suppression. They achieved what we are only beginning to dream of, a society in balance with its environment, technology, and spirituality. A civilization that could have been a guide for humanity, had its existence not been obscured by those who profit from ignorance and division. The gatekeepers, with their vested interests in maintaining control, have ensured that this reality remains hidden, a ghost of what could have been. But the truth has a way of surfacing, and as more of these suppressed realities come to light, we are reminded of the potential that lies within our grasp, if only we dare to seek it.